Well, I hope your formative and summative went well. I hope that if you had any problems that you sent us a message so that we can help you out. That's why we are here. So please send through any queries if you are stuck. All right, the next section is about forming teams. Okay, so now you've created a team, there's a result that you have to get, there's an objective, there's a goal. Now we've got to actually make these teams work. So there's a couple of theories behind that. The first one that we look at is called Tuckman's theories of team formation. Don't worry too much about its name, but I want you to understand the different phases. Okay, so right at the beginning, the team comes together. All right, so you must remember the first time you arrived at Kakuza. What on earth are we supposed to do? What is our function? What is our purpose? Who's in control? How do we work together? All of these things are going to be questions that you are going to have. And so it's a difficult time. You're not going to be performing very much. It's about understanding each other and how you're going to work and what your objectives are. Then there's going to be a time which is called storming. Okay, so you're forming, this is the beginning, then you are storming. Now, the problem here is you start to have conflicts. Who's in charge? Who's not in charge? Who gives the direction? Why does this person react in such a way? Why is their personality so difficult to work with? Why are we pulling in different ways? Why does he want to do things that way? I want to do things this way. Now we have storming. We have a problem where people are pulling in different directions, but we've got to come together to find solutions to move forward. And so storming is a very important part because if you don't storm, you can never perform. So we form, then we storm, and then we norm. Now, norming is we say, okay, so this is how we're going to do things. When we run meetings, we're going to do it this way. When we report, we're going to do it this way. These are our shared values. These are our shared beliefs. This is how we're going to work together. These are the things you're going to do. This is my role. This is your role. Um, when we come to problems, this is how we're going to address them. And so you norm, you start to make standards and rules and values that everyone believes in, and you're starting to work together. Once you've done that, then you perform. Then you actually bring results. Then you add value. Then you become a proper team. So you have to go through those 4 stages in order to become a proper team. There's also another theory, and this is called Belbin's theory. And so I apologize. There he is. Okay. He believes that everyone has a different role in the business, and we need to realize what our role is and how we need to work together. Some people will start a project, some people end a project, some people are strong at coming up with a vision, other people will just want to do things. So we're all different. And so people who are different will have to work out how to work together. So you got people who are thinkers, okay? People who go, okay, this is where we need to go. So you've got people who are planters, so they begin a project. These are the monitor and evaluators, so they make sure that you're continuing in the right line. You've got specialists who have very good ideas about very important things, but it's very narrow, and they have to come in where there's an important part of the project to play. Then you've got people who are actioners. They just want to get things done. You've got people who are implementers. So here's a way of doing things. They're going to implement. They're going to do things. They're going to get things done. You've got a shaper. They pull everyone together and they say, okay, so this is how we're going to fit together. This is how we're going to work. Then you've got a completer, finisher. They always make sure that right at the end, they're working hard so that everything comes together and that you get the results. Then you got people, okay? So people that are really good at working with other people. So you got people that are resource instigators or investigators. So they're going, okay, this guy's strong at this guy's strong at this is their strength. So bring them together, find someone from outside that we need in order to achieve our goals. So they will constantly be finding the right people so that we can do the best possible work as a team. Then you've got a coordinator. Coordinator speaks to everyone and says, okay, so how do you fit in? How do you fit in? They motivate them, they get them working together. And then you've got a team worker, which is very similar to a coordinator. It's really about looking after the team. How are you feeling? What's going on? How can we help you? What resource do you need? And people go to the team worker so that they can work together and they feel safe. So the message for the leader is clear. You've got to understand the preferred roles of the people on the team. Play to people's strengths. Get a good balance of people on your team, not just one type. So it takes all kinds of people to be able to make a good team. All right. So let's go to the next slide. Now there's going to be problems, and problems are a good thing. Remember, we said that we have to storm in order to perform, and there's a couple of ways that we might actually create clashes. So let's take a look at how we create clashes. When there's a lack of trust, we're going to have clashes. When there's fear of conflict, so I don't want to get in this guy's face, even though he's doing the wrong thing. Now we need to get over our fear of conflict. Lack of commitment. I'm doing my best. I'm working hard. I'm contributing to the group. This person's not. Well, you've got to get them. You've got to confront them and you've got to bring them together so that they can be committed to the cause. No accountability. So that person, you guys get the results, they get praise, but they've done nothing. So you're going to hold them accountable to their performance. And so that's how you're going to make sure that that disagreement ends. And then inattention to results. So the person might get the results, but it's not accurate, it's not good, it's not adding value. And so results are so important. If your team does not get the results, everyone suffers. And so you need to make sure that you deal with all of these things. And a better person to explain it is a guy called Patrick Lencioni. And so if you go to this video that is in your files, you'll read a lot, you'll hear a lot about how to deal with the dysfunctions. Okay, so go and watch that as well. Then there are two other things: personality clashes. Some people just don't get on. Okay, some people are people, some people are implementers, and they just don't work together, and that's going to create conflict. And then differences in values. So one guy, he truly believes in working hard. The other guy believes in working smart. And together they're just not working well. And so my values and your values don't speak to each other. And so now there's going to be conflict. So those things are important. We need to be aware of them and we need to deal with them in order for us to become a proper team. Then we need to realize that there are certain challenges. So remember, I said that there are different kinds of teams that work in different ways. Well, you've got challenges by cross-functional teams and challenges from virtual teams. So it's in your workbook. You'll see all of the different things that we're talking about. Okay, so that's your formative from the last section. This is your forming, storming, norming, performing. Okay, this is your Belbin's roles. They'll tell you a little bit more about who fits in where. Okay, find out who you are, find out the way that you do things. Okay, this is the disagreements. Okay, so we got to be aware of that and we need to help each other through those different phases. Okay, then we've got different challenges. So you're going to read through this. What are the challenges from cross-functional teams? What are the challenges from virtual teams? Okay, read through those because that's going to be in your summative section. Okay. And then we move into our formative assessment. Okay, so now something that you guys are aware of is challenges faced by virtual teams. So remember, go read in your workbook and you're going to hear some stories. Now, if we were all working from home, okay, so if we were in different countries, all working from home, all having to do things on WhatsApp, what are the problems that we're going to experience? So you go, okay, when we've worked as a virtual team, which is right now, as we're in lockdown, what are the problems? Discuss and give examples of the good things that have happened while you have been separately working and the bad things that have happened while you've been working separately on internet, on Zoom, on WhatsApp. What are the problems? Okay, and then give examples. So tell me of problems, tell me of the good things that have happened. Okay, so that's going to be your formative section 1.2. Then you're going to go to your summative section 1.2. Okay, you're going to explain Tuckman's forming, storming, norming, and performing. You explain it. It's on page 13, 12, 13, and 14. You're going to give me the reasons for disagreements and conflict. You're going to be finding that on 17, 18, and 19, and in the video from Patrick Lencioni. Then you're going to give me challenges with the cross-functional teams. Remember, I showed you in your workbook. They're on page 19 and 20. And then challenges with virtual teams, and that's on page 20 and 21. So you're going to fill those in. Remember, I said half an hour, give yourself half an hour, mark it off. And when you come back, we will be starting with the process of building teams. All right. So you've got 30 minutes starting now, and then hop on to the next video.